Yep, we're live.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode on our podcast. This is the More Than Mysteries show, where we go into all kinds of spooky and morbid things. Um, true crime, paranormal shit, urban exploration. And I'm here with.
I'm Casey. Um, I'm pretty new to all of this, but I love to learn. And should I tell a little bit about myself?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Since this is the first episode, I'll tell a little bit about myself. I just got out of prison, so that's true crime related. As a minor league baseball player, I live in a van, which is pretty cool. Um, I've known him since middle school, and we just have always gotten along. Never ever had a fight ever ever ever. I'm totally not exaggerating. No, everybody fights, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, so this is our first podcast, our first upload on this channel. So this is gonna be a little bit what's the word?
It's an introduction.
It's an introduction, but it's not the best quality right now. We had to do a lot of troubleshooting here, so bear with us. We hope you enjoy this podcast still, and if you do, like and subscribe because we're gonna be doing more stuff, urban exploration, kind of like on the ground type shit. It's just one aspect of this whole thing we're gonna be doing. So I'm gonna pass it over with M here, who's gonna tell us about what are you gonna tell us about, M?
Well, first of all, let me introduce myself properly. My name is M. I am the resident nerd of this channel. I usually like to share, let's say, interesting stories of horrific happenings around the world. And today, I would like to talk about one of the least discussed nuclear accidents that has happened on American soil. Um, in
Pearl
fact, most
Harbor.
people don't. Yes, Pearl Harbor. Most people, when they think of American nuclear accidents, they think of 3 Mile Island because that's the only thing they know. Because they don't know anything. But they don't often think about the first major nuclear reactor accident that happened in the US, which was the SL-1 disaster, which happened in Idaho.
And 3 Mile Island occurred in our state, right, Pennsylvania here.
Yeah,
That's not the one we're
3 Mile
talking
Island.
about today, but
We're
that's
not talking about 3 Mile Island.
that's still like a very known one. We're going to. That's gonna think we want to go into some lesser known shit on here too. So we want to explore some stuff like that for you. So sorry, I just wanted to put it in there.
We'll get there eventually, but I wanted to start us off with a lesser known one. Really draw some people in to a story that they haven't heard. Have either of you heard of SL-1 before today?
I literally never heard that.
I literally haven't even heard it today, so yeah.
Well, let's start this story where it starts, which is in the late 50s. The US had very recently obliterated 2 towns in Japan using nuclear weapons, that being Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And they were looking into some of the applications of nuclear energy that was not meant for weapons. So not bombs or anything of that kind, but they're looking into making nuclear power generation. And they decided that they were going to do these tests for these nuclear power generation devices in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, because, sorry, not Ohio, Idaho, because there's literally nothing in Idaho.
I was gonna say
Um,
Ohio work too. I don't think there's anything in Ohio either, to be honest with you. I know it's probably more so just with what potatoes.
I mean Cincinnati, cool city.
Oh,
Play baseball there.
there's
you are a baseball
Cleveland.
fucking nerd. You know?
Ohio is where weird things happen. Idaho is where nothing happens.
That's a good description.
There's potatoes. There's literally no cities in Idaho. I've just driven through it, but like it's so interesting. So like Idaho, I'm gonna go on a little tangent. Idaho is really cool because there are like 4 different biomes in Idaho. Like there's like
Mhm,
the desert in Idaho, but there's also like weird like mountainy areas because like the Rockies kind of get up there, and like
mhm.
it's just like very interesting. It's a very diverse area. So I would like to know where in Idaho this is at if you have that information. It'd be cool.
I'm pretty sure it's like in the flatlands area of Idaho where
Yeah,
there's
that's
just
kind of
like
most of it.
literally nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like nothing there. Yeah.
So the perfect setup
Um,
to do this kind of testing stuff, essentially. That's
yeah,
what you're
there
saying.
is very, very few like population centers there. It's just flat. Um, so at this site, they were working on like the first nuclear submarines. They were making like a prototype for a nuclear plane that theoretically could just fly forever, which
Whoa.
didn't really pan out into anything that we know of. They might just have it in like Area 51 or something. But nuclear submarines were like first created here, and they have all of these cool, sexy stuff going on. And then they had the SL-1 project, which was just what if we took a regular old nuclear reactor and we made it little, made it absolutely tiny, so that let's say they had a base that was like all the way out in the middle of nowhere, instead of having to figure out power generation for that base and like running lines and stuff all the way out to like the woods or relying on generators, which are not the most reliable source of power if you have something that's like critical. You could put a tiny little nuclear reactor and have energy theoretically forever for your little base. So they made the SL-1 project, and it was sort of like the shitty project that nobody wanted to be on because it wasn't really like cool and exciting the way like working on a nuclear submarine was.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a tiny nuclear reactor. So people a lot of times got assigned shift there who were not really like liked by I guess the brass in that facility. Um and that brings us to the people that were involved in this incident. There were 3 operators working at the facility when the incident occurred. I'll just refer to them with their last names, just to keep it brief. There was Legg, McKinley, and Burns.
Wait, the guy's last name was Leg?
Yeah, Legge, Legg.
That'd be funny if he loses his legs from this disaster.
That's interesting. But there's also a guy named Burns,
Like
which I
Mr.
think,
Burns?
yeah, but it's spelled with a Y.
Oh.
But it is funny because he got burnt.
Oh my god.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah.
Um.
You should not let a
So
Burns work at a radiation plant. I think you should just like not let that happen straight up. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Um. But yeah, there's Legg, McKinley, and Burns. Legg was the kind of guy like he showed up to work drunk. He had marital problems. He was just overall messy. Um, McKinley and Burns and Legg were like enemies, and they would like fight each other at work, and they did not get along. And McKinley was just the new kid. He showed up, and they were training him that night.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really in their drama, but it's like really weird when like your boss and the guy that's training you are like side-eyeing each other
Yeah, it's
constantly.
also weird when it's like nuclear shit and it's like, but like these two guys are getting in their weird man drama. It's just like, it's funny to me where it's like these guys could like have all of this like actual power where they could actually blow things up and they're getting in this like fucking pointless drama. That's so funny to me.
You have a power that not even gods could imagine.
Hell yeah.
Like sitting underneath your feet and you're like arguing with your coworker. Like, bro. Um, important to note, all of these men are under the age of 30, right? One of them is 22, one of them is 27. I think the other one is like 25,
That's
right?
crazy.
So they're all very, very young. They're working the night shift alone. There is no supervision. There is not a single soul in the building, not a single soul in the whole entire like complex. Because this facility is huge. There's lots and lots of buildings. It's just the three of them, and they are the only people in the whole world in control of this nuclear reactor, which is very poorly designed. Um, the way that it is designed is okay. I don't know how much you guys know about nuclear reactors, but to like simplify it, just I'll just like give like a brief overview.
Okay.
Basically, there's like a nuclear reaction happening inside the vessel, right? And then
Yeah.
if you want to make it go faster, um, or you want to make it like slow down, there are these big giant rods. And if the rods go deeper inside, it slows the reaction down. If the rods exit the chamber, or if they go up, basically,
Yeah.
the faster reaction happens.
They like retract.
Yeah. Um, Normally in a well-designed reactor, uh, a single rod shouldn't be able to control the entire reaction. Because if that rod fails, if it drops too low or it goes too high, bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how they designed the SL-1 reactor?
How?
They put one singular, gigantic control rod supported by four smaller rods that controlled the entire fucking reaction. So if you messed up moving
It's
that
just one
rod,
rod, yeah.
boom.
Because
Um,
it's probably normally like a bunch of small rods, I'm assuming.
yeah. Even like the reactor in Chernobyl, right? There was like 200 and something control rods in that reactor. So the Chernobyl reactor was like orders of magnitude safer than this reactor.
There's
That's
more
how.
there's more failsafes on my fucking like email accounts, like backup shit, than there is in this reactor. There's just one fucking thing to
Oh my god, don't get me on two-step verification. That was our whole headache trying to get this thing set up.
But this one, maybe that's why they didn't do
It was like losing my shit.
It gets worse. Not only is it controlled by one rod, it's not a machine that lifts it or anything. It's a guy. One of the guys
Wait,
on shift
it's just a
grabs
dude that picks it up?
he just grabs the end of it and he has to pull it up. That's it. That's how they control the nuclear reactor. And it's so poorly designed that it kind of gets stuck in the chamber sometimes and you have to yank on it to pull it up. And this was designed by army engineers.
That's like
I
if
think.
you ever like look at the pictures of the Demon Core.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw up a picture on the Demon Core in the edit, or you will. That's your problem. And just like them like controlling it with like a screwdriver. It's like no wonder fucking people died. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, this is just like layers and layers and layers of incompetence in like design, engineering, how they manage like the people in the facility, literally everything before the accident. But now let's get back to the scene of the accident, right? So 7 o'clock at night, they're working the night shift. I forget when they start, but it has to be like sometime around like 6, right? 7 o'clock in the middle of the shift. Burns gets a call from his wife. His wife calls him and says she wants a divorce.
Oh.
Wait. Was that Burns? Yes, it was Burns. Burns' wife asked him for a divorce. And he's like, okay. You know, he starts going through it. I imagine. We don't have his testimony because he fucking died. But,
Yeah.
I feel like that's rough news to Harry. He just goes back to work because it's like the 50s. You know, and that's what men do. So he goes back to work. And he's just working normally. 9 o'clock hits, right? They have to restart the reactor from 0. It's dead. The big control rod is all the way in, and when it's all the way in, that means nothing happens. To make things happen, they have to raise it up 4 inches.
Oh, that's
Burns,
it?
yeah, just to make the whole nuclear. That's the margin of error. If you overshoot that, you're fucked. If you undershoot
And we're
that,
manually doing it with guys who are fighting and one of them's getting a divorce.
yeah.
Okay.
So 9 o'clock, they get the order to like raise it, right?
Yeah.
Burns is standing on top of the thing, on top of the reactor, getting ready to pull it up. Leg, who is his like superior, is standing next to him, and McKinley is just like a bit off to the side, just watching them. He's in training. He's trying to learn, right? So McKinley starts raising it, and before he can finish whatever he's thinking, he's dead. The reactor goes boom. Big explosion. Crazy explosion. Approximately like the explosion was equivalent to 32 tons of TNT.
Okay.
Like crazy. And this is just a very, very small reactor. What essentially happened is by pulling it up, the same physics that causes a nuclear bomb to go boom, same thing happened, but just a lot smaller because it's not like engineered to boom. Radioactive water goes everywhere, right? The giant control rod goes up in the air, goes straight through leg.
Holy fuck.
It impales him groin to shoulder and impales him to the ceiling. So he's just hanging there.
That's fucking awesome.
Burns dies immediately from just the shock of being exploded. He's nothing. There is nothing. There are some body parts remaining, but there's not a man there anymore. McKinley is mostly intact, but he is severely, severely, severely injured. But he is alive.
He's alive. Okay.
Meanwhile, a distress signal. They had a system that automatically sends a distress signal out to the nearest fire department, who are equipped to deal with specifically radiological.
That's the first thing I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Disasters. They weren't completely incompetent, so the alert system trips. But it turns out this alert system is kind of like wonky and it just trips all the time. And they had already come to the building like 2 times that day to like deal with false alarms. So they're kind of like, it's 9 o'clock, whatever, you know. But they eventually reach there. They pull up to the building and all their like radiation stuff is going off, and then the guys are like, "What? Radiation stuff's going off? It must be broken." Because for some reason, people always think their radiation meters, I forget exactly what kind they use, I think it's a dosimeter, is like broken rather than like...
Yeah, like this thing that's designed to never fucking break. That's so crazy.
They go back, get like one that's more robust than the one they are using, and then it goes all the way. And they're like, oh my god, it's not broken. Oh my god, we're getting irradiated like crazy right now. So they all pull back to a safe distance, and then they work out like a plan so they can enter the building without like getting deadly amounts of radiation. Because like the thing about radiation, it's a factor of how close you are, how long you're exposed, and the strength of the source.
Yeah.
So they pull back and they create a plan, and somehow the plan is that these like firefighters and like physicists, because there were like a medical physicist on staff there at all times
Uh-huh.
to deal with these specific kind of stuff. The plan they make is somehow more robust than the plan the army had to like keep their reactor intact.
Because the army wanted to keep it intact, I'm sure, because they wanted to use it.
Yeah.
The firefighters didn't give a shit about using it,
Yeah, they gave a shit about their lives. They gave a
Yeah.
shit about their people. The SL-1 was essentially designed to be as cheap as possible, which saying that in regards to a nuclear reactor, especially when the US military has like an infinite budget, is crazy to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But they essentially make a plan where like only one group can enter at a time. That group can be in the building for 60 seconds, and they have to leave within that 60 seconds. Or I think it's 65 seconds. And if they enter once, they cannot like have the same people go back in. So each group is like a one-time thing. So they have to get as much done as possible with each crew that goes in.
Timed event in a video game.
Literal timed event, and if you mess up, you get irradiated and you die of cancer. It's not just, oh, we restart the... No. You're fucked. So they go in, and immediately they see Burns and McKinley on the floor, because they got knocked to the floor, and they remove their bodies. So pretty easy job. They
Yeah.
do not find the third man, because they're looking around the room, and he's not on the floor. Where else could he be? They don't know he got sent up to the
Is that
ceiling.
guy still alive? The one that was
No.
alive?
I'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
So they look around, and then they finally look up and they find him, and because basically the rod is like, because it's part of the reactor, it's like very, very radioactive, so his body is like incredibly, incredibly radioactive. So they send like a crane with a stretcher in, and they put it underneath his body, and then they send another crew in with hooks, and they pull his body down so it falls on the stretcher, and that's how they get him out.
That's fucking crazy.
The
laptop is on like 9% and it is gonna die in like 4 minutes.
Okay,
Do we want to take a break and come back?
yeah, let's take a break.
We're gonna take an intermission. See, if we were like a real podcast, we'd have ads. We will be.
But take this time, go refill your hot chocolate. That's what I'm gonna do. Meet us back here.
Hell yeah. All right, we're back.
Welcome back.
Everybody got their beverages in our non-existent break.
Hot chocolate refilled.
Coca-Cola
More than mysteries.
with a little bit of alcohol in it, but a little bit of vodka in it.
Really?
No.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Em, do you want to take us away again?
Yeah. So where we left off, it's a bit after the accident. The rescue team has come in, and all of the bodies have been removed, as well as the one survivor, McKinley. So McKinley isn't rescued until about 2 hours after the accident occurs, because they had to create that whole plan in order to like get everybody out safely without endangering anybody else. He gets put in an ambulance. That ambulance is sent towards the nearest hospital. Remember, this isn't like bumfuck nowhere, so the nearest hospital is a little bit far away. They gotta go up on the highway. And there is a nurse in there with him, and that's the only medical staff in there, and then a driver. Um, so they're driving, and then he dies about 15 minutes into the drive to the hospital.
Okay.
And then this turns from being like saving somebody's life to like, oh, what do we do with this intensely radioactive body?
Yeah.
So the nurse gets out because there's no point in like exposing her
Yeah,
any
like
further.
being in the back of that ambulance.
I don't know if they switch out drivers or anything. I think it probably would have been best if they switched drivers just to reduce radiation happening to one individual.
Well, it's
But
the
I
50s.
don't
They
have
probably
any.
didn't.
They probably didn't, but I have no confirmation or denial of what happened specifically with the driver.
Yeah, we're not trying to get sued.
Yeah. So they instead go all the way out into the desert, way, 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 way out, and they just abandon the ambulance with his body in it.
What? So like nobody knows where like his grave is?
No, no.
Okay.
I'll get into what happens to the bodies after
Okay,
because
okay.
we're doing a full autopsy.
Okay.
Death
This
Stranding shit. If
accident.
you ever played the game, you know what I mean.
I haven't played it.
So they abandon his body, and then a couple hours pass, and there's this one very, I would say, infamous doctor in the 50s who dealt with specifically radioactive bodies a lot.
This is the go-to
He
guy. This is
is.
the fucking radiation good body guy.
Yeah, he's the guy. Like, he's the guy. There hadn't been a lot of like
When you
exposures.
said the infamous doctor and I was thinking 50s, I was like, no way. Is
Doctor Who?
he a certain German scientist doctor?
Steel chair.
Like is he a certain
No.
German scientist doctor who liked twins? I was like, whoa.
No, no, no. I think that guy's Austrian actually.
Same thing.
But no.
I'm making a joke.
His name is Dr. Lushbaugh.
Okay.
He's the one who performed the autopsy on Cecil Kelly a couple months before this incident. Which, if you're not familiar with radiation accidents, like I am, Cecil Kelly is another very famous incident where it was a workplace accident and he was exposed to like crazy amounts of radiation. And what Dr. Lushbaugh did is he took his body without the consent of his family, took his brain out, and scooped out a bunch of his tissues, and he shipped it all around the country to be studied.
Wow.
So
this guy's not fucking
this,
around.
Yeah, this guy is like very like he's the kind of guy where like the ends justify the means, and he doesn't really have a lot of interest in asking for permission before he goes into something. But once again, this was the 50s. Like nobody like really gave a shit at the like government level about that kind of stuff. So he gets like flown in on a military airplane. He pulls up and he's like, they're like, okay, we have all of these heavily irradiated bodies. You're the radiation body man. Can you please like perform an autopsy on them? And he goes like, hell yeah, I can perform an autopsy on them.
He's like into it.
Yeah, he's the guy. So he goes, and there are some parts of the bodies that are just so radioactive, and they're not really like important to the autopsy to the point where you really need them as much. So he decides to just cut those parts of the bodies off before he even like does the autopsy on the rest of them.
Okay.
So in order to do this, he has like special tools. They're like 10-foot long, like metal poles, and on the end of them, they're his surgical tools. So he's far enough away from the bodies. He's not being irradiated with these.
How can you like control that? That's crazy.
That's just the power of being a really good like surgeon, or I guess in this case, like being really good at autopsies. But like surgeons have such crazy like control of their hands when you see them work. They're so still. It's insane. So he beheads one of the bodies.
All
He
right.
removes the hands of some of the other bodies, and he just puts them in a giant, like, drum, like a oil drum,
Mm-hmm.
and dumps them in the Idaho desert as radioactive waste. They're inside a pit, like they're underground, so people can't be exposed by it. But he doesn't even like be like, oh, these are human body parts. We should put like a little like memorial. No, he just throws them in the ground.
Do people know where that is?
I don't know. I'm sure it's somewhere. I'm pretty sure most of the documents related to this are declassified because it happened like way back in the 50s.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I could if I went digging find that, but I don't really want to.
It'd be cool to go there.
This sounds like cartel shit. This guy fucking behead him and dump him in the desert in the order. I'm like,
He's like, while we're at it, give him a Colombian necktie.
Yeah, for real. What kind
The damage to the body that was beheaded was actually like almost conducive to beheading because there was like already fractures in the like cervical spine, so he just kind of continued what was going on to get the head off.
That's fucking nuts, though.
Yeah. So he does the autopsies and does them like as quickly as possible to reduce his like radiation exposure. He also had a team with him too. And he determines the cause of death of all three of them. I don't really think it's relevant to go into like the bloody details of how each of them specifically died.
Yeah, I also don't understand like why did they need to do an autopsy on them? Like we kind of get how they died. There was like a radiation and explosion.
I mean, some people like the details. Like, do they like kind of burn kind of thing, like burn up type shit, or?
I guess, but like, I don't like get the point. I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
How many people like died like after the thing, like casualties like post that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was that all like burning up and shit? It's kind of want to know.
Yeah.
It is cool. Like, I'm always interested whenever there's like mystery, and I like get to know. Like, I get to like find out. Like, it's like finding information where almost like I feel like one thing that's like interesting about autopsies is I'm always like I want to find information that I'm not supposed to find, if you get what I mean. Like I love that. I like live for that.
Yeah. No, I get exactly what. That's one of the reasons why I'm like so into nuclear disasters is because it feels like something you're not supposed to know about. You know, these feel like they should be like secret.
Should be like classified almost. Like
yeah.
This was classified. This was all like classified. You know, very little of this information was let out to the public in like this late. I think this actually happened in like 60s, like 1960, which was basically the 50s. You know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until the 90s when all this information was declassified that we actually knew what really happened and how much of a shit show it was behind like closed doors at this facility.
Makes you wonder what's going to get declassified about now in the future.
Yeah, I don't think
Probably
we should speculate on that too much or we might get shut down.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what we're here to do. Is to declassify.
No.
Well,
please.
We'll see. we're starting a little smaller now. We'll try to Zerg rush Area 51 again. But, remember that shit?
I do remember that. And like everybody said they were gonna do it, and nobody really did it. A couple people did. Just
doing it for the meme. They weren't actually going to like do it.
I don't know. Some people did try. Some people really like ran over the line. And whenever you do that, they just like drive out and like point guns at you.
Yeah. I don't want to get any guns pointed at me. If you guys want to declassify shit, go right ahead. But
I'm just here to have fun.
Getting back on track.
Yeah,
so we're almost at the end of this story. I love a good tangent, But we got to get back to the story. Basically, this was kind of like a time period where the government was really interested in what radiation did to bodies, which I think is why they were so into the autopsies. Like they really wanted those autopsy reports because there wasn't really a way, even with the loose ethics back then, of like exposing humans to radiation to like study them when it's like at this level of exposure. So any data they could get of like how such a strong exposure to radiation could affect human tissue was like crazy information. But that's just like speculation on my side, given like what I know.
Yeah.
Now, after the autopsy was done, all the bodies were returned to the families, and they weren't. You can't return a radioactive body back to a family for a normal funeral. What they did instead was like built these huge like lead-lined caskets and covered them in concrete. And two of the men are in their hometown, and McKinley is currently buried at Arlington in Virginia. That
Yeah,
forgot
Arlington National Cemetery.
yeah, I forget the name of it.
Yeah,
But
this is what it is.
Yeah. Now, after all of this happened, a couple of years later, there was an official like investigation report, and like hundreds of scientists were in it, and they're trying to figure out. We know all of the like what happened and what happened after, but they're like, why did this really occur? And there were like a couple of theories people had. Some people think it's like Leg and Burns were just like enemies, and they were just like fucking with each other, and Burns like went a little bit too far with the joke, and he pulled it up for real. Some people think that because Burns had found out his wife was divorcing him, he was just like, I'm just gonna end it all.
I feel
I
like
don't
he
care
was
what the hell
probably
happened.
just like not thinking about what he was doing.
Yeah.
Um, which actually, that's kind of the conclusion the inquiry got to, which is just this was just an accident due to like the poor engineering of the place. Like he was trying to get it pulled up, and he either got stuck or he just wasn't paying attention, and he pulled it up way too far, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was the end. That's the story.
That's fucking
That's
crazy
SL-1.
though. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I hope the family's got some money.
They did not. They
Yeah,
didn't get
of course
shit.
they didn't.
It was like 60s,
Yeah.
and they were army men. Their lives were like given over to the government essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty crazy story, you know. So there you have it, guys. What's the name of like incident called again? Like, what'd you call it?
This was the SL-1 reactor accident.
SL-1 disaster accident. So that's our first, coverage on this whole channel. We're gonna be doing a lot more of that kind of thing, a lot more of true crime, deep dives, urban exploration type shit, looking at kind of paranormal haunted locations around us. We're also just gonna shoot the shit. And we're gonna shoot the shit a little bit right
Also,
now.
just
so.
like we can talk about like what we want from this channel. Like, it's not just gonna be podcast. We're gonna be going out and doing things, and maybe talking to people. I'd love to do like ghost hunting. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Ooh.
Or like, what if we did like a did like a vlog where we like go ghost hunting, but like we go camp. You know, like I think that'd be so fun. I think that'd be so
If
great.
we can pull it off with this stuff, because really, guys, we're kind of broke ass college kids right now. Well, I'm a college dropout, but you know,
I went to jail.
Casey went to jail.
Well, I went to prison.
You know.
But I did play baseball.
Well, what's the difference?
True, but you know, I got to permanently borrow.
Prison is like more long term, like because I was in there for a year and a half. Jail is like usually like you go for like 6 months max, and it's like it's like a county thing. I went to state.
Okay.
I got to permanently borrow a few equipment before I dropped out of college, to say that much. So we're gonna give you the best we can with this. We're gonna try to gather money and do some kind of shit. We'd love to do ghost hunting stuff like that. That'd be really sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm unemployed, so we got a lot of time.
Yeah. I love being unemployed.
Yeah. And right now it's kind of we hope you stick with us too, because I think it was a pretty good episode, but we're kind of raw dogging right now in my basement. Pennsylvania.
Whoa. What are we doing in your basement?
We're raw dogging shit. But Pennsylvania, Canada's on fire now, and like the whole thing is just like
Oh yeah,
turned into like
I would have
fucking
loved to
Silent
do this like out on like the back porch or something,
Hill.
but
Yeah, that'd been kind of aesthetic.
it's just like there's like smoke everywhere because I guess there's like fires in Canada, and like you walk out, it looks like Silent Hill.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And yeah, it would be so cool ghost hunting in the smoke though.
For aesthetic.
But I mean, I've been coughing all day because of the smoke. I was driving with my windows down. I was like, I'm gonna roll these up.
Yeah,
It was bad.
And you got your mask on and shit, all that other stuff. But
Yeah.
It's been a weird day between the fucking smoke and a lot of technical difficulties and reality too here.
Oh my god.
Fuck technology.
We probably were trying to set this up for like an hour. We were trying to set up because I couldn't figure out why the computer like the sound wasn't coming out, and it was just because we didn't have speakers plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
But I was getting a little upset. So I recorded a little blooper. You should put that on there.
Yeah, try to get it on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try and like post stuff about this channel on like Reddit, maybe see what we can do. So if you're here from Reddit, don't get my Reddit account banned for sharing myself, because I know that they don't like when you do that. But
yeah. Yeah, so we hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. Like I said, planning on doing a lot more stuff, a lot more variety of stuff, all kinds of things. So if you like this, if you think you're gonna like more stuff, like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe, and yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have anything to say, Hey.
No.
No smoking here now.
You said I could smoke.
No, outside maybe. Not right now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see where this channel goes, and I hope you guys stick around to hear more of my spooky stories.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we have some good things, some cool things coming in store. So we will see you on the other side.
Bye-bye.
I cannot get this to stop recording. Alright. Oh, this is recording again. Just kidding, I pressed the button.